In a vast landscape full of adventurers, you are now listening to the world of chaotic amateurs.
The next episode is when Palea says, I am virile. Welcome to Chaotic Amateurs, the internet's number one D&D 5e play podcast. I'm your host and DM, Alex. With me, I have...
Dash is Thrakis.
Bentley Michaels is Referian Night Meadow.
Red is Arthur.
Caleb is Scory Telbrun.
And Milo is Ball. And last we left our adventurers, they had split up, one delving into a dungeon, the other remaining at camp. Let's see if they reunite. Let the adventure begin.
Nice.
Oh, I've been needing that cold drink. Okay. We will start in the dungeon. So this is Wolf, Arthur, and Scory. You have just completed the puzzles of the dungeon, opened up a secret room and finding a secret book, plus a whole pile of other books. The prisoner that you were looking for, you were able to detain as well. You were able to just kill them outright, it seems. And you got two guards up top who have some horses. You've got some horses as well. What is it that the three of you are doing?
I wouldn't mind sifting through some books.
Maybe.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, you definitely have some books available there to you. Taking a look, it's not a bunch of books from one place or one time period. These are books from all over the continents, all over time.
That's right. You said that there was some about troop stuff and dated back a long time ago.
Long time ago. There's a lot of kind of like bound love letters, like notes that, they're sealed. You can open them up. They were never opened.
Who are they? I want to play matchmaker. Can I get those? And I want to see who they're addressed to before I just recklessly open them.
You find a bundle. It's probably about 7 that is addressed to the Princess of Javiel.
Princess of Javiel.
Yeah.
Hey guys, does this name sound familiar at all? Do any of you know the Princess of Javiel?
Neither of them would know the name.
Well, my mother always told me that these made it to her, and here they are. Dang it all.
Cool. I'll pocket those.
Okay.
I won't open them yet, but
okay. Wolf and Arthur.
I'm kind of the mind, like, if we got this guy, I wouldn't mind checking his pockets, making sure we got everything from him, but also maybe some sort of token or trophy so that we can show Gordon, like, we got him, but he didn't make it.
Sure. Yeah. He's got kind of a like a metal emblem stitched to the inside of his coat. That's something that would be recognizable.
Sure. Yeah, I go ahead and take that. And then I just make sure that anything that might have belonged to the camp, belonged to the wagon, etc.
Gotcha. It looks like most of that stuff was taken off of them. It's just their personal effects. A number of daggers were hidden on their body. So there's at least 5 plain daggers, and it looks like they were using a rather interesting dagger. One that was crafted a little more finely than the others.
Interesting. How? Should I take it?
It's got some design work on the hilt. Kind of like odd vines is what it looks like.
I take it.
Okay. But then, yeah, beyond that, you know, they had taken anything of value. They just were not able to grab what this creature was able to hide.
Perfect.
Can I do a scan of the room to see if there's any hidden places?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Cool.
Because kind of what happened was before you were taking a look in this room, and the imp noticed the little skeleton man was following you guys.
16.
16. You notice the pile of books. You notice the desk with the where you found that journal that was in Sylvan. You notice in the ceiling there's an odd kind of carved out section that's maybe like 2 feet by 2 feet, and as you kind of look up, it only goes up maybe 4 feet. As you kind of peek in there, like a book drops from it and lands in the pile.
Okay.
I burn it. I burn it. All the books. I burn all the books. Burn every book.
If you got a way to start a fire, easy enough to light these aflame.
No, I don't burn the books. Can I take a look at it though?
The book that fell?
Yeah, the book that fell.
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna catch it as Scory's taking a look, and you grab it, and it is a collection of short stories. This is something that you soldiers you would have known would have like had with them when they take out to battle, like a childhood memento. I'm gonna open it up, and there's like a note scrawled on the front page. It just looks like it was a gift from one person to another. It just details that on the front page.
All right. Yeah, I burn it. No, I'll go ahead and I'll pocket it.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be some kind of useful on the road on our travels. You know, something like that.
Rather have it than not have it.
I'm sure it'll keep the dumb wolf entertained at some point. Anything else in this room other than just like a bunch of boring books?
That's what it seems like. It looks like it's kind of a book depository.
That crevice in the ceiling, is it? It's just this like indentation. It doesn't look like there's some kind of like passageway up there or anything.
No, you kind of climb up on the books and you feel around, and there's nothing. It's just
no like secret magical godlike weapon.
No secret magical godlike weapon.
Oh, gosh, there never is.
It's tough. Yeah.
Game is broken.
This game's broken. Okay, well then, I mean, Wolf's satisfied. He's ready to move on out.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Arthur, after maybe giving some generalized downtime consideration to scanning everything and getting the knife and all that.
Yeah. You guys seem to do a thorough job of investigating this place. And you head up to the entrance of the cave. Remember, it's this calcified tree in the side of a hill. You've got the two guards up there. You know, they're just kind of, kicking their feet, waiting. You're able to get your horses and head back to Can
I jot down any of that rune work that was on the entrance? Intentionally, I'm planning on giving it to Riff.
Yeah, you can make some like Riff has done before. Make some little etchings of the rune work. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go ahead and write that down. But yeah, you are able to kind of backtrack your path, getting to coming back to the camp where you have the robot and the tents and all of that going on. As you are headed back, I'd say Riff and Ball, this is probably an hour after we ended last session. If they just to kind of keep everything in the timeline there. And for you guys, probably about, I would say, 3 or 4 hours since you split up initially. But yeah, you get back to camp. Looks like your carts are kind of getting ready to go. One of them has left already. The one that had the prisoners looks like that one's left already. There's the campsite for the soldiers. They're getting like a soup ready. And then there's like a big pile of sand kind of in the central area, kind of like ramped up in an odd kind of shape. But yeah, you guys are back in camp.
Cool.
If we do have an hour of downtime, I want to check in with Shane and see if I got any messages from the college.
Yeah. Last message was
Mostly asking about how they feel about like sharing aura, since I can make it, and also informing them about my time going to the wastes and assisting Tiernan.
Okay, gotcha. You want to kind of like submit a report.
I already did that. I'm waiting to hear back. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you receive back a message kind of in that time. Work with Tiernan. Whatever they need within reason should be given. The relationship between Usama and Holbrook should be priority. Seems like they are very interested in at least maintaining some diplomatic relationship, and the amount of aura that you're able to give them isn't something that they're terribly concerned about.
Exactly what I needed to do. Thank you.
Cool. But yeah, you guys are back in the back of the camp. The soldiers kind of get you to where they're having some food and start pouring bowls of soup.
Riff, or I guess I would approach Riff and say, so we encountered a cave under a tree, and there was some weird writing on the outside. Looks like it kind of matches up with some of the other stuff we've seen. So I copied it down, thought maybe you could compare it with your notes and get a bigger picture on what these runes mean. And then I would just give you the writing, the tracings.
Cool. Yeah, I'll file those away in my book of all the other drawings, just because I'm not in learning mode right now. I'm still A, I'm hungry, B, still kind of in shock, and trying to like get my head around everything. And also yeah, I mean, I'm kind of weirded out based off of everything that's happened.
Can I tell?
Actually, yeah, if the three that are coming back, if you guys want to make an insight or a perception check, go right ahead.
Absolutely.
Well, I got a 5.
What kind of check?
Perception.
I got an 18 perception, or
18%.
insight check. Sorry,
Insight. Yeah.
11.
And what kind of check?
Insight.
I would say with that, yeah, Riff looks a little distracted. I would say that's probably what you pick up on that. With an 18, Wolf, I'd say that something's not. I mean, something didn't go wrong, but it looks like they're contemplative. I would say. And Bentley, Riff, let me know if I'm off on that.
Does the robot look different?
Yeah, you look back at where the robot would be, and it's not there.
Well, oh fuck.
Yeah, you see kind of like some deep gouges where it was and where that sand pile is. Like the indentation of it was there, is kind of there. But yeah, no, you don't see the robot.
Yeah, I wanna ask Riff and Ball, where'd that go?
Oh, it's a hilarious story. So Julia, our old pal, not our old pal.
Not so much a pal.
Well, and you facilitate. You started all this. So Nuts and Bolts over here goes over to Bigger Nuts and Bolts and takes his Carlo Rossi jug of crazy liquid, pours it right in the middle of the robot. It starts to wake up. The little sand thing, the boulder that was like a ramp, so we could get the bouncing boulder off of it, and then Julia, like a mad scientist, she's got like one of the UFO things that we got, only she's Tinker Tailor paraded it, and she's now she's the head of the robot. And then she detached, and then she was like, see ya, and then she like playing her magic out of here.
So what did the soldiers? How did the soldiers respond?
The captain, kind of eavesdropping a bit, on the story, comes up and says, "Hey, well, we did everything we could to try and keep that robot tied down, but it all happened so quick, and I gotta tell you, that Julia just not what she seemed like. I don't know who put her in charge of this mission, but somebody's ass is gonna be had because of it. So, we're just backing up now. Julia's the one that really messed everything up.
Did you guys find? Yeah. Did you guys find the little one, the bones or whatever?
We did, and
now,
and promptly, Wolf slain him.
Oh, did he get to use his cool new axe and stuff? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he did, and it was rather cool. Bush light and all that came down, and before I had a chance to be like, "No, Wolf, don't murder him in cold blood," he did. He murdered him. Was it in cold blood? I don't know. One could say that maybe I desired him to be dead. Maybe you could say that I was trying to uphold the law of Usama.
So what you're saying is you got your wish. All right, cool.
I'm conflicted about it, but yeah.
you seem real conflicted.
He's smiling really big.
And then I flipped to Riff the insignia that was inside of his jacket, and I flip it like a big old coin, like I'm a cool guy.
Oh, you cool guy in me?
Yeah.
You kind of grab the little insignia, and it's this. You see these deep roots on a tree that kind of come up, and then these dead branches on the tree coming up as well, with kind of like an oval indentation on the sides. It looks familiar. This is very similar to your family's crest, except instead of bare top, it is full of leaves. You kind of check one of your books and you see one of your family books. It has full of leaves, but then deep roots.
Interesting. This is just like, see, look, Mr. Zephyrs, it's just like this one.
Now, he also had your uncle's writings on his person, which
really?
Wait, did I make that up?
His journal.
He wanted the journal. And Alphonse told you not to give it to him.
He wanted your uncle's writings for some reason. So, gosh, the different branches wanted your family's books and all that. Maybe you're a night meadow and he's a day meadow.
Riff turns around and sticks her head in the hot soup.
No, I'm being serious, Riff. Like, maybe they like the anti-night meadow,
Oh, you weren't being punny. Okay.
I mean, I was, but like trying to be serious. Like, deliver a message with a nice joke, You
can only use the languages you know.
I mean, exactly. I mean, a giant robot is gone, and it could come back and murder us all at any point. So, like, let's lighten the load a bit,
Yeah, that's true.
So,
all right, I'm going to have to do. Riff is going to, like, unless someone talks to her, is going to kind of sit down and try to start to, like, cross catalog and figure out this whole thing as far as like the badge and all that sort of stuff. Put it together.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, Mr. Ball, what do you think is the likelihood of a giant robot coming back and murdering us all? Is this a problem that Julia has a giant robot now?
I don't think it's necessarily going to be an issue for us. She didn't seem to have any ill will towards our party. But, definitely a giant robot going through space could be an issue for many people.
She definitely seems to be opportunistic. I think the only reason why she was willing to help us escape the hold was because we helped her get her tools to do it. It seems to be a similar situation here.
I feel like I've learned a valuable lesson. from her. I appreciate
Not
it.
to trust her.
So it appears we should hunt her down and kill her then. Finally, a good hunt.
Well, I mean, we could always. Also, we got to report back to old what's his name, the crazy scientist guy.
Tiernan?
Yeah, we got his findings, and then, I mean, we can tell. I mean, we can kind of maybe feel it out. Maybe be like, hey, be on the lookout for a large warforge controlled by a plane jumping crazy lady inside of a UFO head. You know,
Could you tell?
classic stuff.
Could you tell what the capabilities of this robot were? Like, was it used as a weapon, as a defense, transport?
No,
It seemed, very strong for sure.
well, yeah, definitely. That it was like a big Mr. Ball, basically. But she was out of here pretty quick once she got that UFO thing like attached to the top, and she's like, I'll form the head, and then like she just bye.
Wow.
She
Yeah,
didn't even
maybe
say,
if we had come
anything
here-
cool as she disappeared. That's what infuriates me the most.
That's a big no-no in the giant robot community.
So, do we need to build our own robot to battle her robot? Because we've got a head already, apparently.
Should we make Mr. Ball extra big? We just cast enlarge on him a whole bunch.
I think we
It's
should
not a bad
probably
idea.
I don't know. I think we go back and give up the stuff that we were set out on our mission to do. Inform, what's his name again? Tiernan, is that it?
Yeah.
Inform Tiernan of the fact that, I mean, she didn't. It's not like she like attacked us, but also it's not like she was like, hey, let me help you on your quest or something with my new giant robot.
He definitely stole something that we were interested in investigating. So,
yeah.
and
How good of
Usama
a-
wasn't interested in investigating.
How good of a scientist is he if he can't even get any of his Warforged to work? But Julia can get one giant one to work in like a day.
How much of that silver liquid did you use, and what was the reaction from that?
About a Carlo Rossi size.
Oh, right. Okay,
Yeah,
I
it
know
was
this
like-
really well.
It was like half of a Carlo Rossi, I thought. 'Cause
Okay.
It's like halfway through it, like it started working or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think a quarter of the Carlo Rossi is in our spaceship, and then probably the other.
And what
Three-quarters
happened to it when you did that?
Came alive and
It
Julia
did the
took
same
off.
thing. It did the same thing that happened to Chain there. It seemed to repair its innards
Wow.
with the silvery liquid, and it came back. I attempted to speak with it, and Riff attempted to speak with it, but
Nothing
didn't
upstairs.
quite work.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was
Well-
like kind of like running like on like an auto function, because it like started to do something with its hand, and then it started to do, and it like it's like it started to like boot back up, but then like boom, she gets on top, and it all like started to attach and stuff, and then she could control it, and then see ya.
Jeez.
If I wasn't so
And-
worried about it, I would say it was really cool.
Yeah. Was there like a spot to pour this stuff in? And it actually, maybe that's a question for the DM. The UFO that we snagged, was there like an actual like tank reserve kind of hopper thing for us to put the stuff in, or do we just dump it on the thing and it works?
What you did for that one is moved the UFO into that spot with the kind of three spikes.
Oh, that's right. And it
And-
combined.
It looked like that site was kind of like a refueling site.
Okay.
So you needed that site to get it back. It's still stored inside of it, so you still have it in there. But yeah, it was that's what you got from that.
And as for the robot, I think Mr. Ball just like dumped it in its chest cavity, basically.
What happened to the boulder? I'm kind of
The boulder is still
saddened.
there. You see
would
you see
be
the boulder
obsessed with
off to the side. Looks like it got kind of thrown about.
It's over
it's not bouncing
It
anymore.
rolled off into a place where it wasn't going to hurt anyone.
Okay.
I do sort of feel like, maybe this all could have been avoided had we simply gone here before the Tower of Chaos. Now, I'm not saying that any one single member of our adventuring party is correct. I don't think I can make that leap. However, I do regret not visiting it sooner.
I hand out T-shirts to everyone and said, I already had these made that said Scory's right. Y'all have to wear it.
This will come in handy in the future, I imagine, but not now.
Okay, well,
I survived
good
the
with-
bouncing boulder in the waist.
All I got was the stupid T-shirt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm cool with going back to Tiernan if you guys are. What do y'all think?
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of all we can do, really.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, we don't know where Julia went, so
Yeah. You guys begin packing up the stuff that you know your guys' camp. You've got your horses back for both of your carts. There was some of the mechanical stuff that Julia had on her UFO got knocked off. Ball, I assume that you grabbed that stuff and stored it away.
Yeah, put it with the rest of the components and stuff.
Trying to think beyond that if there was anything interesting. We talked a little bit about this on the Metagame Minute, but there was a little bit of odd moss growing on that boulder.
Oh
Can
yeah.
I take some? Yeah. If they relayed that to me, or if I could see it, I would probably gather a sample.
you would.
Yeah. I'll kind of go over that too, just to kind of give you the explanation of what was going on. The boulder, it seems, had an odd growth of moss on it, and that was what was powering kind of some system inside of the robot, and that was what was causing it to kind of raise up and then fall back down once that power was depleted. Taking a look, Ball and Riff were able to kind of ascertain that well.
Is it the same moss that we saw in the tower? There was
It's
grass and there
different.
was moss.
Yeah, there was grass and there was an algae. This is an odd moss that might grow in like a craggy boulder.
Okay.
seems
Well,
to be
I'd
the
like to
same
take
stuff.
a pinch or something and roll it up
to do.
and smoke it.
It seems like, if I'm not
You turn
mistaken,
into a robot.
Bit wet.
would it make
You'll have
good
to try it.
pipe filler. 'Cause I got a pipe. We can try it, baby.
Maybe down the road.
If I'm not mistaken, though, it seems like these Warforge, I guess, power themselves off of things that are living. So this moss was powering this creature, or this giant robot, and the wastes is void of life. Perhaps the mages used the Warforge to scour the life from the wastes to power them.
Interesting.
Good idea.
Yeah, and that kind of agrees with the whole mechanisms in the Tower of Chaos, how that all stuff was powered with the grass and the algae and all that.
So much to ponder. What if we did it on the road?
Yeah, let's.
Oh, I
Yeah,
assumed
you guys have got your cart set up and you're headed to the Nine Towers outpost, the outpost of Usama. Just a few hours away. You guys kind of pushed the night when you first got here to camp here, so you end up there.
Can I do a rest on the way?
Mid-evening. Definitely a short rest if you'd like to take one.
Yeah.
Full rest if you want to take it would be later tonight. But yeah, you're able to get to the outpost. It's not quite as busy as you remember it being. There was a lot of people coming in with supplies when you were first here. Looks like most of those have been brought in. There's people working on the towers and stuff. You're able to get through the front gates easily enough. If you want to head to Tiernan's or anywhere else, that is up to you. Just to remind you, there's kind of a embassy located here in a magical circle. That's where diplomats are. There's the war camp with the general there, and then a collection of blacksmiths and tool makers that have a camp kind of to the north. And if you remember, there's one of the mages being held over an open portal as a kind of trophy for this place. That's kind of is central to the.
What about the other prisoners that we had? We still have all of them,
Except for the skeleton.
right? Except for the skeleton.
They left, but when kind of the whole big robot fight was happening, they booked it. They didn't want to have any part of that. They were already a little stressed, and so they just left.
They made alliances with the guards that we rescued, and they all took off in the same cart.
Okay.
So the guards that we had, like they took them away, or they freed them.
They seemed to sort of work in tandem together to get out of the big robot way, and then they took off on the same cart together. As
God, I killed a skeleton for a lot less. Wish I would have known this. We could have delayed this coming back to Tiernan by like 5 or 6 episodes.
That's why we told you when we got here. Did we have another cart? Yeah, it's weird. They left.
How'd you guys screw up so much?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, you guys let like everything, the worst possible things happen.
Our fucking little.
Did you guys just stand there and watch? Like, did you guys even try? Were you guys aware of anything happening? Did you literally just like pour the bottle and then you just stood back? Like, that's so. How useless were you guys? Oh my gosh!
I'm beginning to think that we were the.
Do you even have character stats? Like, how'd you somehow manage to let all the worst things happen and literally try absolutely nothing? It makes no sense to me.
I did try a bunch of stuff, but
And
it
you
was
didn't
mainly
succeed.
it was
Like-
mainly Mr. Ball went like, I'm gonna do this. He tried to steal my backpack too, and
Ball
He tried to steal your backpack?
yeah, because I wouldn't give him something out of it, so he tried to rip it off
Infighting
me.
even. Jeez, we were like a solid unit in that cave, murdering that guy.
Yeah.
and then
It's like Wolf says, murder always brings everyone together.
It's easy when you have a singular focus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We put the laughter back in slaughter.
I tried to get into the UFO, and I was gonna like my UFO versus her UFO, but before I could do that, she took off and she just disappeared. So it was like,
Oh my god.
yeah. Hey,
The only thing that
if you
could be
haven't
better-
listened to it, it's a great episode. Go check it out.
The only thing that could be better is if we get back to the chateau and her first pit stop was to just like kick it over.
Yep. Hey,
So,
look, Riff
yeah.
is not disagreeing with you. She feels the exact same way. That's why she was just kind of sitting there waiting for you guys when you came back. She's like, hey, anywho, we should probably
Yeah.
get going.
We got a bundle of love letters and a dead skeleton.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you murdered a skeleton and you got some books. So it's not like you guys did a whole much better than
We didn't lose though. We didn't lose.
Technically, we didn't fight, so we didn't lose either. She just she was afraid of my chucks and she took off. That's what it was. That's what Riff
can
tells
believe it.
herself.
I can believe it.
I definitely want to go talk to Tiernan, and I want to show him like all the rubbings and the etchings and the different stuff, and regale him of our adventure in the tower or whatever.
Yeah. You guys make your way over to Tiernan's workshop. You see the ballistas up top just kind of track your movement, but don't fire. It seems they're safe now. But yeah, you get to the shop. You park the horse and carriages there. You've got Gallendale and Crag are, just keeping an eye on those things, and the outpost is open to you. Is everyone going in?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I am. I don't speak for everyone, but
Right. But yeah, everyone heads on in. You see inside the first room is kind of this room piled with books and beakers and notes and all these odd bits and pieces. You see those 3 books on aura are on one of the tables, kind of open with some notes on them. You get into the second room where you hear he's kind of doing some work. And as you kind of come in, you hear him kind of drop some tools and come out of like a third room which he was in. So now you're in that secondary workshop that you were talking with him before. You see on the side of the wall where he had one of those warforged arms, where he had kind of that janky aura that he was using. Looks like he's tried some new experiments. He's got some odd device, and you see that arm is articulating now. It's moving, which it wasn't before.
Terminator 2.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different Warforged parts here, and then on the table you see a number of pieces. Where he's trying to looking to build like a complete Warforged. He was missing, I think, a chest component and a full head. As he kind of comes out, he's like, look, it's the
wolf balls.
The what?
The wolf balls. That's us.
Wolf balls. Yes, I remember each and every one of you. What's going on today? What's happening?
Well, we completed our mission for you.
Yeah, we're back from the tower.
Oh, good. Fantastic. And you were going to get some parts for me. You have these parts?
Yeah, I think
I reach into my bag of holding and I pull out 2 cores.
Oh, very good, my good man. He grabs one and grabs the other. It's like, I wonder if I could put 2 in. That'd be a lot of design work. And he kind of sets one aside and sets the other one on the table next to the Warforged he has going on there at the table. He says,
I'm going to jump on the table and like pull out my books as he's doing stuff, just so and then be like, look, these are all the etchings from like we went to a couple different towers and stuff like that. Look at all this cool stuff. And look, this one actually, this is upside down. I had it wrong, but isn't this awesome?
Oh, if that one's wrong, then I have my entire alphabet wrong. Hold on. And he kind of has one of his books with some of the notes on. He just flips the entire book upside down.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, that does make sense.
I know, it's crazy.
Huh. Backwards.
And then I'd like to present the skull of I forgot his name.
Florian?
Hello?
Florian. There we go. I even named him. I'm such an idiot. The skull of Florian, and I'd like to ask Tiernan if he could make him a body.
Oh, of course. It's a
I would like
skull.
Yes.
Yeah, in a little more detail, Wolf. We found the skull. Yeah.
You found it. Oh, I see. Oh, well, that's very good.
It contains the spirit of a being, and he's very much alive. Yes, so I'd like to give him
to you. This is an
like to make him
or you want to honor their.
Look, perhaps you have like a glass of water. We could just show you what happens here.
No, it has to be a special kind of liquid. Here, I'll show you. Now I want to pour a little bit of the thing on the skull.
Yeah, you've got a little bit of liquid from the tower. He's got like some pans and stuff you can kind of collect it in. You've got like this about foot wide pan that you kind of pour and set the skull into, and you see it kind of like raises up, but it's just like a bust. It's only got enough water for just like the shoulders and head, and Florian just kind of apparates, has that odd kind of spectral watery form, and looks at Tiernan and says, I am very much alive in a way still. I believe they are looking to make me a body. I hope that won't be any trouble for you. And if it is, please, I don't want to be a bother. And Tiernan is just kind of like head cocked, odd, scribbling notes as he's talking. Says, this is very interesting. Yes, no, we could make a body. See, it only works with this water.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that. We can have some sort of aquatic suit, and it probably it can move itself, and we'll just have some bits and pieces in there to kind of help with that. Mr. Florian, are you a magic practitioner, a warrior, or I'm magic practitioner. Yeah,
he's really old. He's like 800 years old or something.
I can do some things if I'm able to manipulate my hands and manipulate small tools. If I have some dexterity, then that would be helpful. He says, all right, we can get this working then. Do you prefer to be tall or short? He says, whatever works, but I was pretty tall when I was alive. Don't worry, we'll give you a nice tall stature, but not taller than you.
No, not taller than me. No one can be taller than me.
Or a big boy, don't you worry. And yeah, he starts kind of furiously writing notes about that, and he's got like 2 projects he's now ready to work on.
Hey, Tiernan, I got a question.
Ah, yes, yes.
Is there an enchanter somewhere in this out here?
Well, it depends on what you need enchanted. I can do small things, but my table is kind of full at the moment. I've got 2 of these bodies. You may be able to find somebody over in the blacksmith section, but they have subpar enchantments. Your best bet would be somewhere in the embassy, but getting in there is rather difficult.
How do I get in there? How do I get in?
You would need
the shadows.
Well, no, it's fairly brightly lit most of the time. It's the only place that has green grass. You would need a summons from the king or a noble.
And I slowly look over at Arthur.
We all do.
Yes, Rafarian, I summon you to the embassy of Usama. Wow, that was easy, wasn't it?
You're a noble.
I like to think I am a noble.
Yeah.
I do have a landed title in the kingdom of Usama.
Oh,
And I believe I have like the authority to like collect taxes and what have you on my lands.
you see, he kind of like he like closes some of the notebooks he has and like puts a sheet over some like valuable looking things. He says, "Oh, I see. Well, that's good to know. Yes, if your friend here he can summon the proper paperwork,
Look,
maybe
I'm
we'll get in there."
I'm one of the good nobles. All right, you know what I'm saying. I do believe that the workers should own the means of production. Like, you know, I'm not one of those other nobles that.
You're a union guy. Hey, Tiernan, can I talk to you like in private real quick?
Yes.
Because here,
Step with me. Come with me.
Yeah, I want to, and I'm going
It kind of takes you into that third room where he was working in before. You see like a big slab. There's a big old sheet across that, and then a bunch of other mechanical pieces in there as well. These are like finer pieces in this workshop.
All right, I'm gonna throw up. No, that's not what I wanted. Silence around us.
Okay. You're just casting it on the two of you?
Yeah, it can 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point. So even though we're in a different room, I just don't want other people listening.
Okay.
Just because I want it to be secret, like when I'm talking with him about.
I'm just trying to figure out what area you're trying to silence. Are you trying to silence?
I'll like point right down
the
the
two
floor.
of you are.
Yeah, I'll point like
so
right down
that
at the floor.
the two of you wouldn't be able to talk to each other.
Oh, okay. Well then,
because you'd be silent.
Never mind then. I misunderstood how that thing worked.
Gotcha.
Well then, I'll just do my mind talk with him then. So I'm just like,
okay, there you go.
So we go into another room and then I give him the look and then I go, okay, so here's the thing that I want to do and I can give you some money for it, okay? See this cool backpack that I have? And I just kind of like swing it around, like you see like the little arms kind of like move and like it comes over and kind of crawls around me to the front and I open it up and I'm like, see, it's got 8 different...
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's got 8 different sections. See, each is like a little 10-foot thing, right? Its own little bag. So what I want to do is I want to take one of the sections and I want you to make it a bag of devouring.
Ah, I see. Yeah, no, we can get that to work.
Cool. How much money?
Well, I mean, I'm going to do it after I work on these Warforged and your friend there. Unless you wanted to up it, that would be a hefty sum.
Like 200 gold?
It's going to be about 1,500 gold. To do it. To up my timetable. I mean, I would need a gold's not going to do it. I would need a favor from one of the king's advisors. That's the only thing that would be worth it to me
to
decelerate my research.
You know anybody else that can do it?
In Usama proper, there's quite a few enchanters I could recommend, but out here in the wastes, there's probably about 3 of us.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. I guess we'll get to it when we get to it. That's everything. And then I just turn around and walk out.
You just he sits in there for a bit. The rest of you see Riff come back in.
We could make a deal. Anyway. All right, what are we doing?
I want to ask Tiernan a couple questions.
Ah, yes.
First of all, have you seen water like this with these properties?
Well, that's a good question. What water are we using? There's a few different waters.
So I got my water skin filled with whatever it was in the Tower of Chaos.
It was in the Tower of Chaos. That should be that silvery stuff.
Yeah.
I know you got a big keg of the stuff that was from outside from the rain.
It was raining.
Mm-hmm. That will work.
So specifically the silvery stuff that seems to power UFOs and whatnot.
Yeah. So yeah, you kind of show him some of that stuff. And he goes, an interesting substance for sure. But no, I haven't seen this before. Yeah, I could study it for you.
I'd like to keep my sample on me, but I don't know. Do you have enough, Mr. Ball, to add progress to science here?
I look at the rest of the group. I'm like, I'm not sure what exactly we want to share with him. And I kind of trail off.
Scory kind of pulls his...
Oh, now you're being stingy with the liquid, huh?
Yeah.
There's not a big freaking robot around.
Yeah, Tiernan's working on both of these robots. You've got Crag that kind of brought in that barrel of liquid to be used with Florian.
Okay.
So he's distracted.
Okay. Well,
only popping up to answer questions when you guys are
yeah. The only other thing that I want to bring up is we encountered something similar to a Warforged, but much larger. And somebody by the name of Julia seemed to commandeer it and disappear.
That damn Julia, yeah.
I was wondering if you knew her.
Oh, I know her. Fresh on the scene. Think she's the cream of the crop. I was the one that should have been looking at that giant robot. Wait, what happened with that?
Wait, so you know of the giant robots?
Well, yes, they came, asked me questions about it to see if I wanted to research it, but she usurped me somehow, and she was the one sent to research it. But obviously I should have. Look at my workshop.
It's hers now, apparently.
Well, it is rather surprising that you've been working on all this here and not been able to get any of it to start, but she's fresh on the scene and hops into a giant robot and drives it away.
Drives it away?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take this. So she had like some sort of like shiny machine. We'll call it a UFO. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Mr. Scory, that's it.
What?
And then she modified it, and there was no head, and so then she put it on the head, and she was controlling it with the thing, and then she teleported out of there with it. I mean, if it wasn't my fault, it would have been really cool.
I see. My suspicions were true. She was a devious traitor to the Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have them think twice when they pass over Professor Tiernan.
Totally.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah.
I mean, they might think twice because, again, she got it running and...
Well, she got it running and then it ran right out of here.
Good one.
Hey,
good one, Tiernan.
If I ever find out where she's gone, would you all go get her?
That sounds like fun to me. I mean, trade her to the kingdom and all.
We'd consider it.
I'm sure there'd be a big bounty involved. Yes. I have my means. I'll set down this path, finding a traitor and stealing her giant robot for my own research.
What if I want to steal it?
That's what I would be asking for you to do.
All right, fair enough.
And we get to kick some butt along the way, probably too.
I would imagine many butts would be kicked.
Yes.
Is she working by herself, or is she serving some other shadowy organization?
I don't know. She wasn't part of any arcane circles I knew of. She came in out of nowhere about a month ago.
Well, we spent some time with her.
Recommendations, but
Yeah, we spent some time with her in the hold, and she was actually helped us to escape. But that was the last we saw until this whole fiasco.
Interesting.
Do you know of an island that that she may frequent? And I tried to describe the one that we wound up on. When we were teleported
with the flaming skulls.
Yeah,
that's right. I know that she was focused on teleportation and planar magics. I would imagine someone of her caliber, her skill level, would probably have a few safe houses out there in the world. If you could find this island, she may have gone back there. But I would imagine she's probably trying to find some place that would have tools necessary to complete the work that she was doing on this giant robot.
So you mentioned her fascination with planar magic and all that stuff.
She is quite good.
What is your expertise?
My expertise is machines.
Okay.
And the machinery of magic, the small and large gears that turn and power all things magical. We can see them in reality in these warforged, and we can see them beyond the planes in the interworkings of the laws that bind us to separate places.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. And you said something. There are some blacksmiths that might be able to enchant some stuff for us.
Yes. There's a blacksmith or two that has some divine worship to cord or something that can imbue weapons and armors.
Okay, I think I might like to visit them, gang, before we go. See if I can, fancy up this machete I'm carrying.
You mentioned mechanical, magical gears and things. I recovered some mechanical armor, some pieces of it, and I'll pull it out of my bag. Is this something you recognize, or something you've worked on in the past on?
Kind of looks at some of the pieces, and as you take a look, it looks, exactly like what, kind of an older model of what Julia had on. And he, confirms that for you. He says, oh yes, this looks like that odd armor that Julia herself wore. She told me one day that it was to help quicken her reflexes for piloting through the planes, which I thought was a bit of bupkis, but it might work. I don't know.
I mean, she did.
But it looks like hers.
60-foot robot.
That's impressive.
She's sounding more and more dangerous. The more I know about her.
I mean, anyone that can, jump at a moment's notice away from you to another plane or another part of the world is not to be trusted, in my opinion, and that's what I told them.
Do you know any means of keeping her in place should we confront her?
You would need to be able to limit her casting ability. Sometimes that means, that she has no access to her hands or able to verbally say words. Any sort of magic that requires jumping beyond this plane will require an attuned item. These are things to look out for, yes.
Cut off her hands.
Wolf, holds up his axe and he's like, no access to her hands, huh?
That's what I was just
duly noted.
Arthur, I think you've done that before, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I used to chop off hands for a mad genie.
Perfect. It sounds like we got our team.
Cool. It was pretty fun.
You are a noble then, aren't you?
Another thing, we found a large sum of magical components. We were under the impression perhaps you had been given a stipend to purchase some of these components?
Oh yes, yes. What is it? You may. What have we got? What have we got cooking? And you've got the carts outside. You can easily kind of show him the stuff that you have.
They're in my bag of holding. Thank you.
Oh, they're in your bag of holding. There you go.
I pull out one of them. There should be 5 of them, I believe. And each.
I think you have 4 crates, and then Rip has 1.
The other card.
Yeah. And you kind of pull out the crate, and he goes through them. It's like, interesting. These are some valuable pieces. Yes. I mean, I could probably get 400 gold for this crate here. If you've got more, 400 apiece for the crates. These will be good. Will be put to good use.
Well, it does seem like you're perhaps in need of some of these kinds of items. And I was thinking, and I kind of look over at Arthur, maybe we could get a little better price for, something like this.
Yes, if you want to go ahead and give him a persuasion check.
I'll assist maybe by using smooth words and basically being like, yeah, the Lords of Usma or something.
Brilliant.
You have a way with words. Yeah.
Half-handedly mention that you're a noble again, and kind of point over to some of the stuff he had underneath a cloth, one of the cloths.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can aid with that.
Have I shown you my monogrammed napkin?
I don't have one.
It's going to be 9.
9. He looks at you and is in just kind of the group in general.
8.
And says, well,
Sorry.
8. I mean, they may be useful in the future. Perhaps when I'm back here to the academy, I could perhaps 500 or 600 a crate. But out here in the wastes, there are sticky fingers about. I can't take the risk. But I would be willing to part 400 a crate.
Well, I don't want to speak for everyone else, but I think I'll hold on to my share for now.
Yeah, I'm going to hold on to mine too.
I'm interested. I think it sounds like you drive a hard bargain, but I'm willing to go for it. So whatever is allowed to me to bargain with, I would do that. I don't know if were there enough crates for everyone to?
Yeah, there were 5 crates total.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah.
So yeah, he'll buy the crates off you for 400 gold.
Cool.
Mr. Ball, should I hold on to my share or should I offload it for some coin?
I mean, if you could use the gold now, take it. I'm probably going to turn this into some kind of magical equipment anyway, so it makes sense to hold on to it for me.
All right, then. Yeah, Tiernan, I'll take that 400 gold.
Oh, fantastic. Yes. And he's got like his own kind of little bag of holding that he's able to pull out enough gold to pay you with. Well, if that will complete our business, was I supposed to pay you for the items?
Yes.
The Warforged core. I can't remember.
Yeah, absolutely. I do remember that they were worth about 1,200 gold apiece, but we were willing to make a bargain with you.
Well, I just needed the one.
Yeah, well, but you got 2, Mr.
We
Tiernan.
gave you 2, so
Did you want the other one? Did you want the other one back?
gold.
I think it's a 2 for 1. Excuse me, not 2 for 1.
2 for 1. No,
No, he doesn't speak for us.
Don't
He doesn't
interrupt
speak
me.
for us.
It's all or nothing.
1,200 gold. Because that does sound about right for what he was needing.
Oh, good.
And he puts the 1,200 gold on the table like he's completed a deal.
And
Was that not our arrangement?
perhaps the other core then is worth some favors.
Perhaps.
1,200 gold for the one, split amongst us 5 ways. And then some favor. I don't know. Do we need favors? Yeah. I
Always.
think we definitely do.
I prefer the currency of favors, personally.
I mean, you've treated me well, and you've brought your an odd living skull and things necessary to complete my work. I mean,
Perhaps you could make our
I'm
party
excited.
something cool and useful in exchange for this second core.
potentially, it will be down the road a bit. I do have a bit of work to get done. But I will write down in my journal of favors plus one favor.
That is a
mighty
No, no.
sir. That's a post-it note, sir.
And we didn't ask for one favor. It's one favor per person.
Oh.
I've already the ink is already dried.
I grab his note and I crumple it up.
Oh. Good.
And I say one favor per person.
I mean, a 1,200 gold favor for the party is not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Sounds like a
fine
good
with it.
deal. I'm wondering
The favor
perhaps
should
anything
match the
in
size of the gold.
your lab that might be of interest to us that you'd be willing to trade.
What are you looking for? I've got many machines for making Warforged, and give me enough time, I'll be able to make a working Warforged as easily as one ties their shoe.
How about 1,200 favors? Yes, I'm an expert negotiator.
They would have to be small favors at that point.
No, they're each life-altering favors.
Life-altering 1,200 of them?
Yep, we own you.
Well,
I
mean,
know.
I recant that. It's fine. I'm fine with the gold.
all right.
I know Scory is looking for a magical weapon of sorts. I don't know if you have anything
I
that
make
could
magical
enhance
people.
a weapon, or understood.
I
You
said,
come across a lot of things in your lab. People come to you, bring you things. I wanted to find out.
They bring me bits and bobs of Warforged. That's what I'm here for. The blacksmiths, they know how to make magical weapons. They know how to make your blade sharper than a tiger's tooth.
Well, Professor Tiernan, perhaps with the supplies that we have afforded you, that once you have worked out the kinks of this first iteration of your Warforged, perhaps it goes to be of service to us in exchange for these parts, in exchange for the knowledge and
well, the very first one will be in service to the nation of Usama.
And I am in service of the King of Usama.
That
By
is
proxy, it'll be-
fantastic. The king himself, though, is going to want a display of this. I understand you have helped me majorly in finding these pieces, but I serve higher masters than mercenaries of the wastes.
Is this King Henrik that you're talking about?
Yes, the High King.
Huh. Okay.
Well, I don't serve. I do serve King Heinrich,
As we all do.
but I also serve something else, and perhaps a favor to him would go a long ways to you. So you give us the Warforged, and then I have this.
The Warforged is for the king.
Good Lord, Sonny, let me finish my phrasing here, and then you get a dragon to help you do some shit. You know, he's a cool guy. Yeah.
Hold on. I am not in any way in league with the Dragon Council. I have had this happen before. I have beseeched them once for a magical artifact. This is when I was in my youth. I do not work with the Dragon Council, and I never will. Never have, never will.
I am a
asked
noble
the question
of
once.
Usama, and I'm not even suggesting anything like that, good sir.
Well, good. I'm glad. No, that's dust in your eye. I'm sure of it.
Of course,
And
it is.
he kind of goes back to working on his machines. He puts on his goggles and starts working on the Warforged and the Florian body as well. He's going to be hard at work at that for the next couple days at least.
I guess that's all there is to it.
Yeah. And I think that is where we will leave for today's episode. Thank you guys for joining us around our proverbial podcast table. I've been your host and DM, Alex. With me has been
Dash as Wolf.
Billy Michaels is Reverian Night Meadow.
Red is Arthur.
Caleb is Scory Telbrun.
And Milo's ball.
Grab your swords and keep on adventuring.
Follow us across all platforms with Chaotic Amateurs. Please subscribe, rate, and review our show on your podcast app of choice to help us climb the charts and find new adventurers. Or become a patron on Patreon to help our heroes continue their quest. Thank you for listening to Chaotic Amateurs.